I think really at the end of the day, if there is one particular thing that you could do to amplify any area of your life, it would be to optimize and be absolutely meticulous about the environment that you live in, the environment that you work in, the environment that you train in, the environment that you do whatever in. Right now, I am on 8,000 acres of pretty beautiful, pristine desert land. In fact, the house I'm at right now is like a little oasis surrounded by this pond and birds and wildlife. But there's everything here. And I was invited to come to this land by my buddy Christian, who runs a project called Retribalize. And it's all about bringing visionaries, entrepreneurs, and creatives together. And he has this big vision, him and his team, to basically build a new town. And it's an audacious goal. But what I love about what they're doing is they are selecting and filtering other people who are aligned with their vision, who share the same values, the same principles, the same goals, who desire the same lifestyle, who want to leave a similar impact in the world, who want to connect and co-create similar or adjacent or complementary projects. And I flew out here about 3 days ago, and it's been awesome. We've been sharing meals. We've been talking shop a lot about work, about online business. We're a bunch of creators, using social media to build different projects in the world and communicate our ideas. We've been rolling jiu-jitsu. We've been sparring. We went up to Sedona and went on a hike. And there's a certain level of nourishment and invigoration and inspiration that happens when you get not only into wide, expansive vistas that really speak to your soul, which the desert always has for me. I love how expansive and wide it makes me feel in my thoughts, but also just being in the vibe of people, like even if we're not talking, just being in the environment of people doing what you want to do or living in a way that you want to live. There's an osmosis that happens. If you think about, I love the movie Paris After Midnight, I think it's called, or Midnight in Paris or whatever. And all these writers were gathering together historically to just talk writing, to work on these novels. And so much good work came out of the gathering of these incredible artists and incredible writers in Renaissance times and antiquated times even. Like creators would live together, would co-create together, would live in residency together. And that's essentially what this project is. It's a traveling residency of creators. It is so fucking hard. And it's possible because I did it. I built, a multi-six-figure business in the last 14 months or so, solo, kind of in a silo. And I did it, but it's not fucking easy. And it's not that enjoyable a lot of the times, working alone all the time. And since I've been here, even though I'm Ankh here, as the kids call me, I'm 15 years older than some of the guys here. I'm the oldest person here by 4 or 5 years at least, but most of the guys are a decade younger than me. I'm still inspired and carried by their energy and by their pursuit to create something and to leave an impact just by being here, right? And I have my entire life been fortunate and intuitive enough, and just whatever it is, something has always called me to get in the right rooms. And I was talking to one of the young men here yesterday about, he was looking for mentorship. He's like, I really want to find a mentor. I know I have all these gifts. I know I have all this stuff to give, but it's like, you can't just fucking ask people to be your mentor. You can't just, cold call and ask people to take you on. And he's like, what should I do? And I said, you know what, man, I never looked for mentors, but they always found me by putting myself in the right room. And I've always just known intuitively that when you get around the right people in the right environment, and some of those rooms you have to pay to be a part of. I remember when I was young, 26, 27, younger, I was paying $10,000, $12,000 US just to get in the rooms of men that I wanted to be around by joining certain programs and personal development programs. And I was making a farmer's wage, which was like $14, $15 Canadian an hour. And I was paying $10,000 to $12,000 just to be in these programs, not including flights and travel for the retreats and everything. and I made it work, and it was the best fucking ROI of my life. Like, of my life. Yeah, I had to struggle. I remember selling my vehicle just to get in those rooms. But I knew intuitively that those environments would lead to meeting the right people and to being around the right energy that would amplify every other area of my life, that would move me closer towards what I want. It's not about information. It's not about systems. It's not about books. It's not about YouTube videos. It's not about personal fucking development, right? It's about being carried in the wave and the transmission of getting around other people that are doing what you do. So if you're fucking stuck, get around people who are playing a bigger game than you. I pay my coach Tom Youngs right now a fair amount of money, $1,800 a month, to work with him in a group coaching program, just to be around fucking killers, like people that are doing 50, 100, 150, $170,000 per month in their business. Do I need all his systems and all his templates and all his tools and stuff? It's helpful, but do I need it? No. My business will grow without it. But do you know what it's like to jump on Slack and see someone that gets another win? That's like, oh, just made $40,000 today, $50,000. Oh, and not just about the money, but what the lifestyle that these people are living, because they're lifestyle oriented. The money's just a byproduct. Getting in a room where that's normalized, where $100,000 a month is just normalized, or, getting in a room with a bunch of creators who don't think that filming and doing something like this is cringe or weird or questionable, but they actually are fucking gassing each other up. Like, if you're a creator online, or you want to be a filmmaker, or you want to be whatever it is that you want to do, you want to exercise in some certain way, or start jiu-jitsu, or start a sport, and like the people around you are thinking it's weird or cringe or like it's not that deep kind of shit, right? They're not gassing you up. Get the fuck out of there. Those are the wrong people to be around, right? You want to be around people who see what you're doing, who see you, and who amplify and pull more out of you, or who normalize your goals, who are already there, and it's just like fucking a regular Tuesday for them for the things that you're aspiring for. And I mean that in health and wealth and business and socials, like whatever it is that you're creating, your art, doesn't really matter. Because there is something that happens when you do that. I wouldn't be here today if I didn't fucking find my way into those rooms. And through that, back to my mentor point before, that's where all this mentorship organically arose for me, because I met men and they saw how hungry I was, and they saw some of themselves in me, right? They saw some of themselves in me, and they took me under their wing and they carried me, and I wouldn't be here without them. I'm standing on the shoulders of all those giants. But what it required was me being able to disrupt my current situation, to move to new locations. I remember when I was maybe 26 or 27, I had just gotten back from traveling through South America, and I was working a summer job. I stayed at my dad's for a couple months while I got back on my feet after being gone for like a year, basically. And I had this intuitive hit that like the environment where the people that I wanted to be around was across the country on Vancouver Island. And at the time I was living outside of Toronto. And so I packed my car up a couple weeks later and I fucking drove there. No plans, no jobs, no setup, a couple grand in my bank account, if that. And I went out there and I started again. And that led to this beautiful journey of getting around the right people. I got into primitive skills out there. I got into learning how to forage and hunt and process animals and all these things that I was really eager to learn. And I put myself in an environment where those people were just doing that every day. And I learned so much about it, and it led to this next path and this next path. And so optimizing not your fucking office environment as much as that's important, or your home environment, but actually plucking yourself up. Like, maybe I'm too old, but if you guys ever played Roller Coaster Tycoon, you used to be able to like grab the people with little pinchers and move them to another part of the park because they might be stuck. You got to fucking do that to yourself. You got to grab the pinchers and fucking drop yourself in some new environment that's going to be conducive to the life that you want. Because osmosis and transmission and the energetic, the field is more important than anything else. You can build in a silo, you can find success in a silo, but if you want it to happen 10 times faster and have 10 times more fun doing it, find the right environment and the right people who are doing the exact thing that you want to do. And just fucking open your ears, get humble, and listen. It'll change your fucking life. I'm so glad I'm here. I'm so glad I did this. I only have a few more days here. I got to jump back to work into Feral Creator, which is my 6-week accelerator. It's an incubator, an accelerator for creatives who want to scale their business without losing connection with their soul. I've already had 125 people go go through in the last 12 months. It's an incredible experience, and it's the community. It's the room that you want to be in. There's people with audiences of 100,000, 150,000, you know, doing $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a month. So if that's what you aspire as a creator, I'll drop the link to join us in the description below. We start April 27th. Opens to the wait list only. There's only 40 spots. So if you want in, that will be the only way to join us, is by getting on the wait list. It's already 3 times the size of spots available. April 27th, the doors open. All right, we'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.